I'm Robert Estrin here at livingpianos.com. The question today is, are old pianos better? And actually, this is a very complex question because there are many things to consider. For example, growing up, my father, Mortin Estrin, was a Baldwin artist, and we used to go into Baldwin and he would choose a nice new piano for his recordings and his concerts. And whenever he would find a restored piano, he always would scoff at them. He just loved the new Baldwins. And so I grew up kind of with that mindset. And yet here, look what I'm doing. I restore pianos. So did I change or what happened? Well, actually, a lot of things changed. Mostly, the whole world changed around me. Because back when I was growing up, we had Baldwin, Steinway, Mason, Hamlin, Knabe, Sohmer, Chickering. The list goes on and on. There were so many piano companies. And over time, because of economic conditions, pianos now are, for the most part, made in huge Asian factories, mass-produced, for a fraction of the cost of the handmade pianos like I just mentioned. So, apples to apples, new pianos today, okay, if you're talking about the 2,000 or so pianos manufactured last year in this country, sure, there's some quality pianos being made, but 99 point who knows percentage of the pianos that you find are nowhere up to the standard of those 2,000 or so pianos. And so the vast majority of new pianos are not like the old ones. Now there's another factor. The fact that years ago there were hundreds of piano companies. At the peak, at the turn of the 20th century, did you know there were 1,800 piano manufacturers in the United States? So to say that the pianos being made today from out of the three companies that only produce about that number of pianos compared to an age when there were over 1,000 piano companies, I'm sure there was some real tough competition that was faced, and indeed there was a great choice of wonderful pianos. However, most of these pianos are going to be quite a bit older. Sure, but even before World War II, there were over 300 piano companies manufacturing pianos in the United States. However, that's a long time ago. So older pianos have tremendous potential because the workmanship and the woods that were available were far superior than what we have today. But it comes down to the life that piano has had, how well it's been preserved, and the work that's gone into them to make them play like a new piano. So in a perfect world, if money is no object, you can get a brand new Shigeru Kawai or a Hamburg Steinway or a Fazioli. You might be very, very happy and say this is as good as it gets. And you might be right. There are some tremendously great pianos being manufactured today, not just in Europe and Asia, but in this country as well. Mason and Hamlin and Steinway certainly are producing fine pianos. But there's a great variety of tones possible with the vintage pianos. Even the old Mason and Hamlins and Steinways from years back have a different quality to the sound than the ones being made today. Slight differences of methodology and the woods of the time. Some people also believe the aging of the woods has something to do with it. I can tell you from my experiences, there is a certain magic to some of the older pianos. So are they better? Well, it comes down to the individual piano. There are some great pianos being made today, but if you are comparing apples to apples, I would not compare an Asian production piano with a handmade piano being made today or from years past. That's where it gets really qualitatively different. But apples to apples, handmade pianos today compared to handmade pianos of years ago, then you can have a discussion, and then it comes down to personal taste. Thanks for joining me, Robert Estrin here at livingpianos.com.